Hello friends, welcome back to your channel Writing Buddha. So today we are going to talk about this book called Of Beast and Beauty, written by author Bindu. So this is basically an anthology consisting of 13 different stories. So generally, as all of you know, that I like reading full-fledged novel and I generally don't pick anthologies. But whenever I talk to these authors who write big novels and I ask them why don't they write short stories, they tell me that writing short stories is a different ball game altogether and it is very difficult. Why? Because first of all, you need to define your character in limited number of words. Then you have to make their situation familiar with the readers so that they can understand what the story is all about. And thirdly, the biggest part, that you have to then write a moving story around it. So writing short stories is very difficult, and it is not everyone's cup of tea. But the way Bindu has written the 13 stories in this book, they are very unique and distinct from each other, and they are written in such a way that some of them will actually make you move uncomfortably in your seat. Yes, they have those magical elements into it, and the way this book has been characterized and written and portrayed in each and every story, I think this book can get the due for the short story writers, which has been pending from a very long time. The theme of all these stories in the book is, derived from the title of the book, the two keywords that we can see here, beast and beauty. Yes, so all the stories in this book are based on the same theme. So either there are two different characters, there is a beast and beauty in two different characters in a story, or a single character itself has both of them imbibed into it, the beast and beauty both, or in some of the stories either the beauty is turning into a beast or a beast is turning into a beauty. So it is very creative to write something like this in different stories and all, talking about the single approach and targeting these two keywords, beast and beauty. So I would like to appreciate author about thinking something like this and also executing it very well in this book. Many stories are women oriented, and I like the way they are being handled because they don't scream feminism and women empowerment in your ears, but still they speak it in a way that you understand the kind of challenges or tough life a woman from India goes through. Yes, so this book, all the stories generally are based in India, so you get to understand it very well and relate with it. The writing style of the authoress is very advanced, and not every person would be able to grasp the book the way it has been written. People reading literature will resonate with the language and the stories, but not every school going kid would be able to pick these short stories and understand and enjoy them. Some sentences are written actively, some passively. The way sentences are formed are not very easy for the new beginners to read this book, I would be very frank, but everyone who have read great stuffs before would very much like this book, and they would understand the kind of mentality author has while reading these stories, and you will just like the depth in each and every character and the story behind them. So talking next, all these stories are of around only 13 to 15 pages, and you will feel that either you are reading a poem or watching some good painting for a very long time. So it is written in that kind of smoothness and you can say swiftness. Now I must say that author is very particular about the message she wants to convey through her stories, and you can relate with each of the messages she is trying to give by the climax of the book. So maybe sometimes it happens that throughout the stories you would be thinking what exactly author needs to convey, but as soon as the climax would come, you will understand, oh, so that is where the story was going to. So before moving ahead in the review, I would like to mention few stories here, then what kind of insights they tried giving me, and some of them I have listed here. So the first one I would like to talk about is The Longest Night. It talks about a girl's struggle and compromises in the job that she has taken of air hostess. Then another story, Munimji, speaks about how a woman is capable yet society judges her at every stage, either in her marriage or even after she is again single post her husband's demise. Ram Datni and the Far Gymkhana is about the patience and humiliation a woman keeps bearing just for her children. Samer is about what drug addiction can do to someone if they become a slave of it. The Leopard Diaries is the story I believe author got a chance to display her spirituality and philosophy in it, and I will always remember this chapter for a very long time. Sculpture is such a unique writing piece where you meet with a character of a girl who is who sculpts and surprises everyone around her. I like the way author makes the protagonist relate with her body organs while sculpting that organ in the sculpture she's doing, she working upon, and that was very, very fresh to read, something very different. Meeting and mating makes us think that what we teach our children is something, if we even practice ourselves, if we understand it and follow it the way we want our children to follow it. And I like the way whole story is kept very light, and the hard-hitting message is given only at the end of the story. The last story in the book, named I Fall in Love with a Trippy Gypsy, is a nice and given to the book, which talks about so many contemporary and social problems. So there are many other stories, you might like different stories also, but these are the few stories that I found very impactful while reading this book. Now, talking about the drawback, the difficult part of this review, there are not many here, there are only 3. So as I told you, the book is written in a very difficult language, a very tough language, where I feel that author could have written few chapters the way she has written, whereas in few chapters she could have used light language so that it could have provided a balance to the book and everyone could have enjoyed it as much as possible. Second, I would say that few stories are dragged a bit in the between and you might find it boring for a while, but I think author could have added some subplots or some humor in between to make it sound good and interesting. Third and the last factor that I would like to talk about is, as I told that I picked the book reading that she is a spiritual person and she follows meditation and everything. I was expecting some spiritual or philosophical side of hers in each and every story, but I think that author kept it limited to very less stories or very few stories here, and she had not considered that dimension while drafting the stories. So overall, this is a very good book, and I think this anthology is going to be a success if it gets the good promotion it needs. I give it 4.2 stars out of 5. If you have enjoyed this review, please like and share this video, and if you have not subscribed the channel yet, I would want all of you to please subscribe and support this channel. Thanks a lot.